sa ating 2A and 2B medtech students. So for our second lesson for finals, ito po ang ating Material Management Systems video recording. So note po ulit, yung content nito will be included in your final exam which will be held next week. So make sure po to watch the video before taking the exam. So our textbook definition for material management system is it is concerned with planning, organizing, and controlling the flow of materials from their initial purchase through internal operations to the service point through distribution. Another definition would be is a specific technique concerned with planning, organizing, and control of flow of materials from their initial purchase to destination. So what is the aim of, or what are the aims of material management? So basically, with material management, ito yung procurement na tinatawag natin sa concept ng companies. Although pag nilagay natin sa hospital setup, material management ang tawag, hindi siya procurement. So ang ating aims is to get the right quality, right quantity of supplies, yung on-time delivery, tapos delivery to the right place. Halimbawa, meron tayong system of hospitals, ang nag-request ay si Hospital A, make sure na makarating kay Hospital A yung required na materials na request nila. Tapos syempre for the right cost, kasi most of the hospitals that are using HIS is using the lowest bid method. Yung pinaka lowest bidder, sila yung kukunin. Tapos we also have here the objectives of material management. So please note that all of this will be included in your exam. So hindi ko na po siya i-discuss ng isa-isa to make sure na hindi naman ganun kahaba ang maging video lecture natin. But please at least hindi ko masabing memorize pero at least browse through itong notes, itong part na ito ng slide. Tapos, what is the economy in material management? So the reason why we are doing procurement process in any industry is to guarantee or to make sure that the costs will not go above and beyond the budget. And we also have efficiency in a sense na we are efficient in getting our process or our way of getting the materials. Hindi siya masyadong magmahal, tsaka at the same time mabilis siyang makuha. And we have now the 4 basic needs of material management. So as mentioned before, this is also a self-explanatory slide. So make sure po that you have at least scrolled through this before taking the exam next week. And I also have the basic principles of material management. So what I have here is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, reporting, and budgeting. So all of this, if you will be put on a company setting or company setup, you will also be able to see this again or experience this. Although the difference with a hospital setup is that the way you are going to be conducting business is not through bids, kasi may instance na hindi bids mismong yung company na yung kausap ninyo, especially for private hospitals. Kasi halimbawa yung company na pharmaceutical company na Merck's, may mga gamot dyan na yun yung preferred ng mga doctors ninyo. So ang mangyayari, sa kanila ka directly makikipag-usap. Tapos since you are buying in bulk, tsaka mo siya pwedeng bigyan humingi ka ng discount, o kaya long term customer kayo. Tapos you also have here elements of material management. So what are the elements of material management? In procurement of materials, you have to do this early, in a sense na kapag meron kayong kailangan ng ng mga dadating na gamot ng December, dapat around 3 to 6 months pa lang na in advance na nyo na siya, inyo na siyang nire-record or at least prepare kung paano siya makukuha para pagdating ng December, sakto yung dating nung gamit or mga medicines na kailangan ninyo. Kasi ano sabi, calculate trends in consumption din during the last years. Kasi since may forecasting kayo, malalaman ninyo kung ilan yung kailangan yung orderin na bagong gamot, tsaka mga gamit. Tapos we also have here functional areas of material management. So pag regarding sa material management sa sa hospital, sa pati po yung pharmacy, pati yung dietary, pati yung linen services kasama. So ano po yung pharmacy? Mga gamot. Ano yung dietary? Yan po yung mga pagkain natin, yung mga bawa, yung pag-order ninyo ng uh, fruits, halimbawa banana, orange, kasi yan yung mga part na may instance kasi na nagbibigay ng diet considerations yung mga doktor pag may naka-confine. Tapos yung linen services po, either bibili kayo every year ng bagong sheets, or you are just doing laundry for yung ninyo, for yung mga bedsheet ninyo, kasi 'di ba pag sa hospital kasi palit lang tayo ng palit ng uh, ng bedsheet, ng mga pillowcases, kasi every bagong uh, patient kailangan mapalitan siya. Tapos halimbawa meron kayong patient na nasukahan ng dugo or nagsuka siya, na yung sa linen, papalitan din siya. Kaya laging nandito siya kasi may instance na pag nagkaroon ng stain yung mga bedsheet nyo tsaka mga pillowcases niyo, kailangan siyang palitan agad. Kasi minsan hindi siya basta-basta natatanggal. Tapos in procurement naman, ito yung apat natin na way ng pagpo-procure. So yung usually ang ginagamit pag private hospital, itong number 1, tsaka na yung Directorate ng General Supply and Disposal, tapos yung sa Store Depot. Paano yung Store Depot? Sila yung direct contact yan eh. Kasi itong public or private sector na undertaking, usually pang government yan, at saka yung number 4, pang government din yan, yung pagre-receive ng donation. Kasi as a private hospital, madalang po tayong humingi ng donation or makareceive ng donation. Kasi ang expectation sa atin, may budget na kayo beforehand. Tapos, ito po ang ating procurement style. So, regardless of hospital, ito yung mga ginagamit natin with regard sa procurement cycle natin na style. So, from review selection hanggang receipt and inspection, ganun siya. Tapos, bakit tayo kailangan may procurement system? Kasi, if we will not procure, we cannot get discounts, we cannot get yung expected na speed of delivery. Kasi pag may procurement system kasi, usually may contract yan eh. So may contract na within ganitong months kailangan makarating na. So ganun siya, mabilis. Kasi kung hindi siya ganyan kabilis, may chances na pwedeng mag-delay ang supplier. Tas kung kayo ay gumamit lang ng middleman, yung mga retailer lang, pwedeng hihintayin din nila yung supply from kanilang supplier. So magkakaroon tayo ng delay through dun sa supply chain management. Yun yung iniiwasan dito. Kaya directly kayo nakikipag-usap doon na sa mga mismong company, hindi na po sa retailers. Tapos ito po yung panote na lang po. These are the mga definition of terms with regard sa material management. So first one is rate contract. Kasi mas mura po ang contract or yung price kapag mas marami kayo in order. Spot purchase naman kapag halimbawa siya yung parang badly needed. Tapos yung risk purchase pag hindi umubra yung normal na way ng ninyo, yung pagpo-procure ninyo ng gamit, tsaka tayo nagagamit ng risk purchase. Usually ang best example ng risk purchase, guys, yung nangyari nung nagkaroon ng COVID pandemic. 'Di ba biglaan tayo nang bumili ng bigla tayong bumili ng mga bakuna at saka mga gamit from people na na hindi na dumaan sa bidding, especially for government. Kaya ang nangyari, lumobo yung utang. Tapos these are the points to remember while purchasing. So please take note of this as well. Kasi hindi ako sure kung mai-include ko siya pero I'll try to include a couple of numbers sa ating exam dito. Okay. Tapos how do you store your materials? So pagdating po sa atin sa usually mga gamot ito or laboratory materials yung inyo eh. Ang tatandaan lang po, first in first out. Tapos yung expiry dapat makita. Tapos kung pwede po, kung frozen yung storage ninyo, kung cold storage, naka cold storage, kung hindi naman po, as long as hindi naaarawan, hindi po nalalamigan ng todo yung mga stock, okay lang. Tapos what is inventory control? So yung inyong mga custodians or property custodians also has the right to monitor kung gaano nyo kabilis ubusin or gaano nyo kabagal gamitin yung mga materials na naandoon sa hospital ninyo. Kasi ine-expect nila per month nakakaubos kayo ng isang gamot. Magugulat sila pag biglang lumampas yung paggamit ninyo. May right sila na kontrolin yan. Tapos these are their functions as well. Tapos why do we need an economic order of quantity? So we need this to make sure na hindi po mag-exceed yung inyong ginamit na nag-expire na siya, nasa inyo pa rin. At the same time, hindi naman pwedeng umabot na naubos siya, wala pang padating na bagong order. Although usually ang lagi nangyayari with regards sa economic order of quantity, ang nangyayari po, yung inyong gamit ay uubusin muna bago mag-order ng bago. So yan naman ang pag you will notice this sa mga private hospitals kasi minsan naubusan na ng stock kasi mas prefer nila na maubos kaysa ma-expirean. Tapos reorder level. So pag nagre-reorder kayo halimbawa ilang weeks pa bago siya dumating at saka gaano pa kadami bago kayo umorder ng bago. So usually ito for gamot ito Halimbawa, for type 2 diabetes, kunwari yung mga metformin na mga gamot, i-check nila kung ilan pa yung stock tapos order na sila kasi lagi at lagi itong nagagamit or lagi at lagi siyang nabibili. Tapos what is ABC analysis? So always better control. Just to clarify, this is based on cost criteria. Tapos it helps to exercise selective control when confronted with large number of items, and it rationalizes the number of orders, number of items, and reduce the inventory. So ito po yung natin, yung 10, 20, 70. So depende po ito sa level or sa mahal ng gamot tsaka ng equipment. So 10% of materials will consume 70% of resources. 20% of materials will consume 20% of resources, and 70% of materials will consume 10% of resources. So yung 10% usually ginagamit yan for material and equipment, 20% at saka yung 70% either magde-depend on laboratory equipment, kunwari mga test tube, mga syringe, at saka yung 70% naman yun yung mga gamot. So what are A items? So best example po ng A items natin yung mga consumable sa mga sa pharma ng hospital. So yan yung small number pero will consume large amount of resources. Kunwari mga paracetamol, aspirin, and so on and so forth. Tapos B intermediate, usually mga syringe, mga lab test kit, mga ganun siya. Tapos yung last natin, yung C items, usually mga ginagamit siguro for pang push ng mga equipment natin. So kunwari mga ginagamit for pambili ng halimbawa, mayroon tayong bagong way ng ultrasound, may bagong technique ng merong bagong equipment for ultrasound o kaya for x-ray, yun yung bibili natin. Okay. Tapos how to procure equipment. So in procuring equipment, you have to get yung latest technology. At the end of the day also, you have to have yung kung sino man yung nabilhan nyo, sila yung mag-install at saka at the same time sila yung magtuturo sa mga hahawak sa side ninyo kasi hindi pwedeng laging sila ang tatawagin. Tapos we have here history sheet of equipment. So from name of equipment up to date of replacement. So usually it will take 3 to 5 years to have new to procure new equipment, especially for uh, private hospitals. Sa mga public hospitals po, it will take longer. Tapos yung longer na yon, kaya kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga yung mga gamit sa public hospitals ay kumbaga pinapamana pa. Bawa dinonate from CDH papunta sa JP o kaya CDH papunta sa provincial, ganun siya. Tapos, what is maintenance sheet? So, annual maintenance contract, chine-check po kung sira na ba yung gamit after 1 year, and so on and so forth. So, usually, hindi ito ginagamit for equipments eh. For for aircon, mga electric fan, mga ganun siya. Katas, depende na yung cost of repairs kung marunong kumuha ka sila ng electrician o kaya sa sa labas. Tapos next po, equipment maintenance and condemnation. Paano po pag sisira yung sira na? O kaya need ng preventive maintenance o kaya repair of equipment. So usually kung wala kayong third party na kinuhang mga technician sa labas, yung mga technician nyo na lang din ang gumagawa nito. Tapos what is preventive maintenance? So kahit hindi pa sira, papalitan na yung gamit kasi yung parts nung gamit kasi kesa masira siyang tuluyan, inunahan na, kumbaga inayos na agad. Okay, tapos how to dispose of old material. So ito po yung yung kanyang classification: non-functional and beyond repair, non-functional and obsolete, functional but obsolete, functional but hazardous, functional but no longer required. So itong functional but obsolete at saka functional but no longer required, ito yung laging dinodonate sa ibang hospital, sa mga public hospitals. Pag non-functional, ito yung term na yung kinakahoy or yung binabakal. Pero madalang naman itong mangyari sa hospitals kasi nangyayari sa hospitals usually, hospital materials at saka equipment nagiging non-functional, functional and obsolete, kaya binibigay na lang sa iba. Tapos procedure for condemnation, meron tayong list dito kung paano siya gagawin. So need siya na muna at least i-verify records, tsaka i-check kung gaano na siya katagal para siya ay mapaltan. And how to dispose? So usually i-auction. Usually ang disposal yung kung may mga nasanglang gamit para makalabas sa hospital. Sa material management kasi counted yan. Halimbawa may nagkasakit kayo tas napilitan kayong isangla sa hospital yung sasakyan nyo, yun yung i-auction natin. Pero yung local destruction, napakadalang po niyan kasi mapagkakakitaan pa ng hospital yung mga nasanglang gamit. Tapos our conclusion, material management is badly needed because if we do not do this, we will have an option of overpricing pag bumibili po ng gamit. So it's very economical. So regardless po kung saan po kayo mapunta after graduating, if ever abroad, kung kayo ay lab technician sa abroad o kaya po dito kung may magtutuloy ng doktor, you will see this and this will not go away. So kung pumapansin nyo, ang discussion natin is very academic, pero if you arrive there, if ever you see this in the real world, may process naman ito, tsaka usually yan ay may textbook process naman yan, tsaka kayo naman ang bahala kung paano siya gagawin. Okay, so that will conclude our lecture 2. So thank you very much. Hopefully po kayo ay mag-subscribe sa aking channel. Tas see you next week sa ating exam. Thank you.